All right, here we are, episode 3 of the Jiu-Jidiots podcast. It's Sunday, May 19th, and we have a good panel of judges today. We, of course, have the great Markezinho.
Good morning.
We have the Pain Train, who I didn't get a music for, so we're just going to use Exor's music.
It's actually an honor to have Exor's intro music played from myself.
And lastly, we have a new guy today, Jerarms, who everyone should know about. Even if you don't train here, you should know about Jerarms. Jerarms, here's your music.
How are ya? Representing.
Representing what? Worcester?
Worcester in the house.
Worcester in the house. Jerarms been training. How long you been doing the jiu-jitsu?
Over a year now.
Over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerarms is a dangerous guy because he's starting to understand jiu-jitsu, but he's just strong, crazy strong. Right, Markezinho?
Strength doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, strength doesn't matter. So yeah, because all of our technique is beyond strength. So this week, I'm sure that all of our loyal listener noticed that Jason Fife is again not here. So let's do a little news on Jason Fife. Fife Watch 2013. Well, we know that he disappeared a couple weeks ago and went to Ohio, as he does sometimes. He just takes off and goes and gets in his car and he's gone, and that's really all we know. So I texted him yesterday. Have not heard anything from him yet. We do hope for Jason Fife's speedy return. Markezinho, any word on Jason Fife's return?
Have not seen him. Don't know.
He hasn't showed up in your driveway or anything. Jerome?
I have a question. Why does he go down to Hawaii, Ohio? Does he have family down there? Or
He's got family out there.
Okay.
But even still,
he's from Hawaii.
yeah, even still though, I mean, who know? Why does Jason Fife do anything?
Yeah.
That's the question. And there's been times in the past where he'll come in here and he'll be training, and then he'll right in the middle of rolling, he'll say, "I think I'm gonna drive to Ohio," and 8 hours later he's in Ohio.
Yeah, it must be nice. Just to get up and go.
Just get up and go. He's got no responsibilities. But anyway, that's Jason Fife.
Does Jason Fife have a job, or does he not have to work?
He doesn't have to work. He is actually retired at the ripe age of 34. He's retired from the Navy. So I think at the moment he doesn't have anything in particular to do. He does jet set though. Like he'll just get up and go any old place. It'll be 11 p.m. at night, and I'm just about asleep, and I'll get a text, and I'll look at it, and it's Jason Fife, and all it says is "What's up?" and it doesn't.
I get the same
really
thing on
have any
Facebook.
point.
What's up?
But one time he sent me a text, and it said, "I'm on a jetpack right now," and I was like, "What?" That's the most bizarre text. Imagine I'm on a jetpack right now. A few minutes later, I get pictures of him flying on a jetpack over the ocean. I mean, this is what this guy does. He's got, he just gets up and goes and does what he's going to do. So who knows what he's doing right now? I mean, we think he's in Ohio, but he could be in space. I mean, it's crazy. But this isn't the Jason Fife podcast as much as I'd like it to be. We do have some topics to discuss today, and this one I think is an important one, and one that we can talk about quite a bit, and it is getting the most out of open mat. And Jerarms, I'm going to throw this one to you first.
All right, on the spot, getting the most out of open mat. Well, like I said, I'm a pretty laid back guy, so I like to come in. I like to learn. I don't try to come in and submit people, So I like to kind of lay back, watch the other guys roll, and try to pick up stuff, ask questions. That's my main focus.
That's interesting because I think so many guys just see open mat as an opportunity to spar. So what you say is, even as a white belt, you don't mind coming in, watching, picking up some stuff, and then asking guys, "Hey, how'd you do that?" Can you
Yeah,
show me?"
exactly.
That's good, because I think a lot of people don't even take the time to do that. They just say, "Let's
I
spar."
I think being humble is the best approach to open mat and training.
I'm glad that you say that because you're huge.
Yeah.
And by the way, his name, Jerarms' real name is Jerome. We call him Jerarms because he's the push-up champion of our school. How many? What's your max?
I think my max in 1 minute, 75 push-ups.
75 push-ups in 1 minute, and he's a monster. But anyway, so yeah, he is a humble guy. He's actually good to roll with. He doesn't try to crush you. But Markezinho, your views, these controversial views on the use of open mat.
Open mat for me, I'm picking something to focus on, kind of a theme for the open mat. I might stick with it for a couple weeks, maybe longer, depending on what's going on, if I'm having trouble with it. So, for example, I might use sweeps, and I might be trying to focus on hitting sweeps as much as I can during open mat. And I'm doing this without telling my partner what I'm doing because I don't want to influence how he reacts. He may end up, kind of giving it to me. Or he might do the opposite. He might know that that's what I'm up to and really shut it down. And that's not going to be productive at all. So basically, I show up with something in mind, and I'm working that, trying to really drill it down, get a lot of reps in, and try to hit it in real application.
Yeah, I do that too. When you're with this long enough, you do kind of go through phases of, I'm going to work more on escapes now or more on passes or whatever it is. And it does help, I think, to zero in. But if you tell someone, hey, this is what I'm going for, yeah, sometimes they'll either make it harder or they'll make it too easy. And sometimes it's good just to do it that way. The pain train, opinions on open mat.
All right. Well, first off, I don't like the nickname Pain Train, so we're gonna have to come up with something else. I'm sure you, of all people, could definitely.
You gave yourself that nickname, though.
Well, it's a joke, but yeah, I think you could come up with even a better nickname. So that's your homework for this week.
I think it fits. I like the treasure chest. I like that one.
What's the treasure chest?
So now 6 months into this, he's finally finding out what the treasure chest is. When you pass somebody's guard, you specifically, when you pass somebody's guard, usually in a stack type of situation, and then you come in the side, all anyone could see, their entire horizon is your chest.
They're lucky.
So we call that the treasure chest.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good nickname. See, I didn't even know about this. But anyway, open mat, I think it basically depends on what you want to use it for. Some people specifically go to open mat to work on things. I'd say probably 99% of the time when I go to open mat, I just really concentrate. Okay, I'm just going to spar. Just spar as many rounds as I can. And I try to not take too much time in between because kind of my goal is, obviously I want to use technique. So if I'm really, really tired, it forces me not to use any strength or anything like that. So I'll just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. I'd say I do that most of the time, but I totally understand. Some people say, okay, I'm going to open mat. I'm just going to work this new arm bar setup that I did. And I've tried to do that a couple times, but when I start rolling, if I see something, I can't just not go for it. So that kind of doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago when we were training in West Hartford at the Hoist Gracie place, and there was a discussion amongst some of the guys who had been there even longer than us, and they said, when did open mat become just sparring? They said, we remember back in the day when there would be feedback and, hey, can we work on this move? And does this feel like a lot of pressure? Does this feel loose or tight? And there'd be a lot of back and forth, and it was more or less skill development. And then at some point there was a shift and it just turned into sparring. And all I could say is I remember all those old school guys being really good. So whatever they did to train worked. But having said that, I'm kind of the same way. I just roll a lot of times. And, like Mark, if I'm working on something specific, I'll just do it. But it's rare that I'll sit down and say to somebody, hey, show me this, or can you give me some feedback? Is this, pressure enough or whatever? I think sometimes even... Yeah, I will call it being lazy enough to say, I'll just spar, we'll see what happens, Well,
that's kind of the point. The whole point of open mat is to be able to work what you want. So it can be different for everybody. So I don't think it really needs to be one thing.
What do you say, Jerome?
I kind of agree with Master Hessa. I think, yeah, I kind of agree with him. You know, if you come in the open mat, if you want to work on a technique, if you're sparring with someone, say, hey, I just want to work on escapes or, you know, defense or offense, or I want to work on my Ahmbahs or whatever. So I think that's...
Wait, your what? Work on your what?
Ahmbahs.
On your what?
Sorry for the Boston accent.
To work on your what, though?
Work on the Ahmbahs, triangles.
Is that Portuguese? Work on your what?
Yeah, Boston accent. Sorry, not pronounced my R's tonight.
Yeah, but work on your what?
Don't give me pleasure saying.
Markezinho, anything to add?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, there's also times I agree when I'm going in with totally an open mind and just see what happens. And it's not that I always have a focus, but I think it's good to go in and just roll. I mean, it's a good time to kind of gauge where you are, too, if you've made gains and what you need to work on, just to see how things are going. So it's good to definitely mix it up.
Yeah. And, you know, we do have guys, because we have a ton of open mats.
Hold on one second. Markezinho just answered our question, by the way. Open mat, open mind.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
It's true.
That we're looking for.
Of course, leave it to the Zen guy to give us that. But we have 5 hours of open mat every week here, and there are guys that come in and work on stuff. They say, hey, you know, show me this setup, show me that, you know. So it really is. It's just a good time for whatever learning style, you know, works for you. You can use that time for it. I think the other question, though, when it comes to open mat is there are guys that try to win open mat. We don't have a ton of that at this school. It happens sometimes, but you know, guys whose whole thing is just to win. And, you know, kind of they look around the room and they say, you know, who's the biggest challenge? Who can I tap the fastest? And, you know, what do you think about that, Markezinho, that mindset?
I think it's great. No, I'm just kidding. That's kind of a short-term philosophy. I think if that's what you're looking for, you're probably not going to be around too long. I think it is good to explore and do that every now and then just to kind of see where you are and test yourself. But if that's what you're thinking every time you come to open mat, you're not going to be around too long. And
yeah, guys are going to get sick of you, and then
the guys you train with aren't going to want to train with you.
Yeah,
and injuries are going to happen and so forth. So, yeah, not something you want to do every week.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with going hard as long as you're both into that and you both, you know, kind of state it ahead of time. But yeah, to come in and just put targets on people and say, you're next kind of thing. Jerome, that sounds like something you would do. What do you think?
I think that's the idea of a white belt coming in and trying to submit people. You know, I think it's mostly white belts who are more aggressive than a brown belt
true.
or a purple. Really?
Well, sometimes.
I find it.
Yeah,
I find it more with white belts who.
Most of the time, if somebody gets up to purple or brown, they get it. They get the whole culture. They get the stuff. And certainly white belts. Sometimes they don't know what else to think. You know, they just think it is about, you know,
they think it's like fighting, like street fighting.
Yeah, and they just need to be shown that. Blue belts are the annoying ones. They are, because if they're the ones, they kind of know better sometimes, and then they'll say, "Oh, that purple belt, you know, he's next on my list. I gotta beat a purple belt. That's on my agenda for, you know," and that gets to be a bit much.
And plus, you know, trying to prove something, you know, they felt that it has something to prove, so
yeah,
you know,
and they're really all that is. They're trying to prove something to themselves. Dana White is not watching.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many Ahmbahs you get.
How many what?
Ahmbahs. I'm gonna go out to my car. It's packed outside, and I'm gonna get some Ahmbahs out of the trunk of my car. The wicked hardcore.
So yeah, that's the thing. I don't use wicked.
You don't use wicked?
Nope. I was young. My mom said, "I want you to stop using that word wicked." So then it just.
Oh, you were denied.
I was denied that, right? Because I used to always say wicked.
Can we ban you from using the word Ahmbah? Jerarms, let me ask you a question about you. So, you know, you're an interesting guy. I think in a lot of ways, but you know, you're strong. You know, you lift weights a lot and stuff. But you have experimented with interesting diets. Can you comment on that?
Oh yeah, when I was 21 years old, I became a vegan through a Prince song. It was a Prince song. I was like a huge Prince fanatic. It was huge. Have every CD. I read his book. So kind of wanted to be like Prince.
Hold on, let me cut you off right there. Did you know that the Pain Train literally has a gi with a major purple rain patch on it?
Oh yeah. Oh really? Oh nice.
Lower leg.
Yeah.
And I got kicked out of a tournament for wearing it during a tournament.
Really?
Yeah, out of a Naga of all places. I heard that Prince is a really good basketball player, but you were saying, Jerome.
Yeah, he's only like 5'1". But yeah, I got in through Prince, the vegan diet. So I was doing that for like 12 years. I was a vegan, and then I started reading more books about soy and how soy was not the best thing for you because it affects your thyroid gland. And
what do you think about the whole estrogen thing with soy?
Oh yeah, that's true.
You think it's true?
Oh yeah.
See,
Yeah, I read all the facts. You know,
I don't think they're facts.
I did like heavy research on it.
I think that's meat industry propaganda.
Yeah.
Oh,
meat too. Because like if you eat cows, it's because like pretty much all meat is coming from a female animal. So you get all the hormones, all the female hormones in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you're getting the hormones from meat and also soy. But I think the proper diet for us is actually the raw food diet.
Do you? Yeah.
Because all animals on the planet Earth eat their food in the raw natural state.
Right.
Like if you wanted to, if a gorilla was gonna fight a bodybuilder, who would you place your bet on?
Is the bodybuilder
it
you?
Would be, nah, it could be, but like a 280-pound guy who's eating steak and protein shakes or whatever, but that gorilla is just eating grass and fruits.
Yeah, the gorilla.
He has like,
yeah.
Place my money on the gorilla.
Wait, is the gorilla eating Zions?
Eating what?
Zions.
I don't know what.
Say armbar again.
Armbar.
That's interesting, though. But can we get back to the estrogen thing with the soy?
Yes,
I
sir.
think that is propaganda by the meat industry because they're just kind of perpetuating the myth that vegetarians are girly men and whatever. But
of course,
I've been
that's
vegan
that's
7
not true.
years. Do I look particularly feminine to you?
Oh no, of course not. No.
You
But
don't look like a man either.
but my whole thing is just like processed foods, because you have to actually like process soy to actually eat it.
I look like Gollum. I look like Gollum. So whatever Gollum is, that's what vegans become.
What exactly is soy? I don't even know.
Oh, the soybean.
Oh, the soybean. Okay, but like I've only had it a couple times because.
No, you haven't. You've had it in everything. Soy's in everything.
Okay.
Especially McDonald's burgers, half of that is soy. Half soy, half beef.
I'm glad to say I haven't eaten McDonald's in 5 years. Oh wait, no, I had a salad from there 2 years ago. So there was no other place around.
But so you're doing the raw thing now?
No, I'm not raw foodist.
But
I just I eat a lot of fruits and salad. That's like the main part of my diet. And
you're very disciplined with that stuff.
Discipline, yep. No McDonald's, no Burger King, nothing like that.
Looks like it's working.
So.
What's your body fat content?
Oh, I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you.
0.5.
A lot of guys measure their body fat, but I never done it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we could talk about diet another time. I do want to bring up two other topics. One is extremely important. So.
No, it's fine. Let's go into the next one.
Oh, what?
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
You don't have an opinion on people trying to win at Open Mat?
Well, kind of. I mean,
that's a yes.
I actually think that in some ways, it can be a good thing, like to challenge yourself. Like I know, being the senior student, a lot of times people, they'll try and go with me and be like, okay, let me see how good I can do against them or something like that, or let me see if I can tap them out. And I don't mind. I mean, unless I'm like hurt or it's just obvious that like, okay, I don't want to roll hard today. But I understand it because I've done the same thing when I was a lower belt. Like if I want to go against someone higher, like, and I still do it to this day, like, all right, let me see how good I can do against them. Maybe not even to tap them out.
Yeah, but I think it's a difference in attitude, though. I mean, you're not trying to do that so you can notch them on your belt and write it down in a little diary in your car that I tapped out this black belt today and stuff.
No,
those guys are out there.
I mean, for example, I'll use Jay Bell as an example. Jay Bell was one of my first coaches. He was a blue belt when I first started. He just got his blue belt when I went there. when I started training. And
J Bell of YouTube fame, you're talking
yes,
about?
yeah, of just fame in general.
Right.
But I have yet to tap him out. You know, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for almost 12 years. I've rolled him many times. I've yet to tap him out. But like if I roll with him, I don't think like, okay, I'm going to really try to tap Jay out today. I'll just be like, you know, let me see how long I can last, or let me see if I can pass his guard a couple times. Like,
Well, that sounds like healthy goal setting. You know,
yeah, okay.
compared to just
And compared to just trying to.
some guy just coming in because his ego can't stand losing and he has to be the, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I remember a long time ago, I like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, seeing a kid who was like a blue belt, maybe a 1 or 2 stripe blue belt, physical kid, rolling with Greg Wood. And Greg Wood had probably just gotten his purple belt, and you know, if the listeners don't know who Greg Wood is, he actually trains with Jay Bell now, but he's old school. He's been doing it like 15 years, but he's a smaller guy, you know, 155 pounds, extremely technical. He's like Mark. He's like the Mark of you know, the West Hartford area. He's really technical. Anyway, this blue belt, you could just tell by looking at him, I have to win. I have to beat this purple belt. You know, what will everyone think of me if I beat this purple belt? And he was trying so hard, and he was like, you know, Greg's not the kind of guy who's gonna muscle out of anything. So he was getting in some bad positions. This kid was just getting on top and squeezing his head and doing all these crazy, stupid moves. That's not even jiu-jitsu. And a lot of us just stopped rolling and just started watching because we're like, what's this kid doing? And then at the end, the kid didn't tap him out. And Greg just actually sort of stopped fighting back because I think he was trying to prove a point to the kid, like, it's not going to happen, you know. But it was very obvious what was in the kid's head. And that's annoying. That's an annoying mindset. We don't actually see that very much here, you know, but.
That's because most of our students aren't like that. So
right.
I don't really know any of our students that are really like that. So, you know, people come into this kind of atmosphere and they're just going to follow along with what everyone else does. So that's why if you have Usually, yeah. I mean, you get, you know, those things every once in a while, but for the most part, if you create that kind of atmosphere in your school and your training, you're going to attract those kind of people. And, you know, some of the people who come to a class or two who have that mindset are going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to go somewhere else because they just don't feel like a part of the group.
Right, which is fine. I think that's almost always for the best. Real quick, though, I want to talk about Markezinho again. He's actually standing up. He's getting ready to walk out of here. It's 10 o'clock a.m. There's been more talk about Mark, you know, around the school this week and all the crazy stuff that he's done, and it just comes out over time. Anyway, I had a chance to talk to his wife earlier in the week, and I said, you know, what do you think about Mark, you know, doing all this crazy stuff and having this history, and nobody knows where he works. And she admitted she has no idea what you do for a living, which, man, that's special. But I said I ran something past her. I said, well, what about the time that this happened? She didn't know what I was talking about. That's how secretive Markezinho is. I mean, this guy, it's crazy. Can we, every week, have a segment where you reveal something else crazy about your life? When you nod your head no, you have to do it on mic.
I don't have to do anything.
I think Markezinho said he doesn't have to do anything.
Can we get another tidbit, though, this week? From the Mark Archives?
Next
the Mark
topic?
Archives?
Dead air. Next topic.
You told me that you have climbed up Mount Washington a couple times.
Yes, a few times, yes.
And
a lot of people have done it. Not a big deal.
A lot of people have done it. You said you've done a lot of different routes, but people have died.
Yes, people have died. Yep.
Were you the
Not
cause
in my
of that?
presence, no.
Yeah, they do it every morning before work.
Come on, give us something, Mark. Give us something good. Some espionage.
I've got nothing.
You know, you're going to scare Markezinho away from the school, and everyone's going to blame you.
I don't think so. I think I'll probably just disappear, and Mark will be the one who's left.
All of a sudden, I'll call to get the class plans, and Mark will be like, I haven't written them up yet.
Jerome, when somebody mounts you and then spins around your shoulder and extends this, what's it called?
It's called Ahmbahs.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page with that. So, Mark, we're not getting any stories out of you today?
No stories.
Jerome,
How about that car story? I love that one. When the guy was following you in the truck.
Wait, it was the what story?
That car.
No, we
The
don't
what?
wanna talk
Well,
about
the
that.
truck story.
Truck?
I'll tell you, a guy
truck.
cut me off and blew through a stop sign last week as I was coming here.
I did that because it
Sunday
was
morning.
funny. Because it served my interest. Wait, when somebody was following Mark with a what? Jerome?
Markezinho with a truck with a big.
It wasn't a truck.
Oh, it was a car.
It was a what? That is a good story. You will have to tell that sometime. Or you know what? It'd be better. I'll tell it, and then you'll just correct it at the end. Because I think I got
Okay, next time.
All right, so last thing I want to talk about today. This is really controversial, and I think our listeners really want to know our opinion on this. Use of the word, the abbreviation, JITS. When people call what we do JITS. What do you think about that, Marcus? You seem to be like, fired up about this. You have an opinion.
I just cringed, that's all.
You cringed.
Yeah. I don't know why, I just do.
That word just bothers you.
I'm not a big fan of it either, but whatever. Everyone uses shortened things for everything. You know, there's people in the world who don't understand the apps
Well,
means
Mark's name
applications.
is Mark, and we call him Markezinho.
Well, true. But people, like, literally, there's people who don't understand the app when you get, like, apps for your phone, which I never have, by the way. I don't get any apps. But people don't understand that means applications.
I actually think you might be the only one who doesn't.
No, I've seen people who don't understand that when I say, like, I've said it before. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've never got applications for my phone. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, apps? That's happened before.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something utilitarian about calling it apps, but not so much with JITS. Like, JITS is just annoying.
My point is everyone is shortening everything nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, kids talk nowadays, and they use abbreviated words like they're talking on the computer.
LOL.
Yeah. People say that.
I say that. OMG. TTYL. TTYL, Marcus.
Well, you started that whole thing anyway. Remember, you started the whole Paris Hilton craze. She copied stuff from you. I won't tell that story, but
Yeah.
you have been copied by the
I'm very
socialites.
influential in American culture.
Yes, exactly.
What do you think? You don't like it, Jerome, when people call it JITS? No. There's a magazine, a jiu-jitsu magazine that came out called JITS.
Oh, really?
And I just decided I'm not going to read that just because of the name. Wow. I can't handle it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
It's a silly hang-up, I guess, but JITS. I don't know. Jerome, what's your favorite submission?
Good question.
No, let me ask you this. What's your favorite upper body submission that doesn't involve chokes?
Come on. That's the one I like.
That is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So easy
we
to
got to
put
talk
on.
about Jerome's got this defense called the Nope defense. Have you guys heard of the Nope defense in the Colchester School?
No.
The Nope defense is serious
I haven't
business. You know what it is, Jerome. I had Jerome side mounted, and I got a key lock on him, and he did the Nope defense. He just said nope, and he straightened his arm out, and I lost it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then the next time I had him side mounted, I got him in a Kimura, which is a bent form of what?
Ahmbahs.
And he just goes nope, and he straightened his arm out and got out of it, and then he just sat up. Mark, any last comments on JITS?
No comments.
You're just over it.
Just don't like it.
It's
That's all.
just enough. Yeah. What would you do to someone if you were rolling with them and they just kept saying JITS?
I imagine I'm going to find out tonight. Or I say you'll find out tonight.
So what if the company there's a company now called Jits, right? They sell those shirts.
Yeah, they're putting out a magazine.
Yeah. What if they tried to sponsor you? Would you say no to them just because of their name was Jits?
I think Mark is independently wealthy. He doesn't need sponsorship.
Well, true, but if they offered you a whole lot of money, you would just say no. I don't like your name.
No, I'd take it.
I wouldn't.
But would you actually wear the clothing?
Probably not.
It's a matter of principle. Mark only wears, I don't know why he's slumming it and wearing a Hayabusa right now, but he only wears shoyu roll for the most part. Like even his dress shirts when he goes to work are shoyu rolls. It's crazy. What's the deal with you? Why do you got to be so fashionable? Me and the Pain Train, we still have gis that we got from like Asian World in 1998 or something, and we still wear them.
I wore one the other day.
Yeah. We're men of the people.
Yeah, we don't care about how we look when we do jiu-jitsu.
We're not part of the jiu-jitsu aristocracy here.
We actually just want to
Jerome,
train.
can you
We're,
say
we're not there to look good.
Jerome, could you please say aristocracy for me?
Aristocracy.
That's fine. I couldn't say that word either.
Kind of a tongue twister there.
Anyway, so I think that's it. We hope for the speedy return of the great Jason Fife next week. People are clamoring for him on the show. I mean, the amount of emails and just tweets and stuff that I get about Jason Fife not being here is just astounding. And we definitely need to get him back. I mean, ratings are dropping. The first week, we had 2 people listen. It was Ricky Fife actually listening twice. And then last week, he only listened once because Jason Fife was not here. So, but maybe I think Jerome's going to spike things up, especially with women this week. I think this is the first time we're going to have females listening to the podcast.
What? And not as much as with Jason Fife.
Well, you're right. Can we talk about this? This is pretty
We
awesome.
got him and Jason Fife.
Jerome, I don't want to drag you out, and throw you under the bus here, but I'm gonna. We had a tournament about 6 weeks ago, the submission only tournament, and you didn't compete. But from what I understand, you brought a girl to it, and it was your first date.
First date, very first date.
So the first thing in the morning on a Saturday morning, you take a girl to a
Well, it was planned.
to a grappling
I was telling her that
with
yeah,
a bunch of muscular, athletic guys running around.
rolling on the ground with each other.
How did that go over?
Went pretty well.
She
Went really great.
you said she seemed kind of bored though.
Yeah, she couldn't watch like if someone was getting into like an Ahmbahs, she couldn't watch it. She's like, oh my god.
Did she call back?
And then guys getting put inside a triangle. She thought that was pretty,
Wrong.
like what are they doing? His head is between the guy's legs, and
And
you
you
know.
had- did
so
you
I
have
had
to-
so I had to explain to her, well, he's getting choked out, by his legs. That's a choke. So I had to actually show her. So I got back to my apartment, and we're rolling on the. You know what I mean?
I'd like to,
This is a G-rated podcast, Jerome.
Jerome. I'd like to reenact this conversation if we could. Are you okay with that? All right, here we go. I'm gonna be her. Ready? What's that guy doing to his arm?
Ahmbahs.
What?
I'll show you when I get home.
What did
We
you
can
call
practice
it?
at home.
What did you call that move?
Ahmbahs.
What is that? Is that Arabic? What is that? What did you say?
That's Boston. Pure
We just lost that one.
Yeah, we just did.
I don't even think we talked about jiu-jitsu today.
I'm not sure we did either, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. All right, Markezinho. Any last comments?
No, sir.
We'll be back for open mat tonight, Roland. Right?
Yes.
Pain Train.
Yes.
Any last comments?
No.
Well, good. This is a good way to end things.
No, what am I supposed to say?
No.
This broadcast, I was upset to be part of this broadcast. We didn't even talk about jiu-jitsu. We need to talk about me more during these.
In our defense, we did call it Jiujidiots.
That is true. No, I thought it was a good broadcast, but I wish that Markezinho gave us some more information about himself. But that's the only reason I came here this morning.
But when you're talking about a guy who's literally gone through torture training, we're not going to get stuff out of him that he doesn't want to offer.
Oh, this is pretty close.
This is right up there. Oh wait, Jerome, for the audience at home, could you say waterboarding
Waterboarding.
one more time?
Waterboarding.
You're so Worcester. You're so Worcester. You can't even help it. Yeah, I thought today. What I liked about today was Jerome. I think Jerome is radio gold.
I appreciate it.
I think he's good on the air. I think he's good on the mic. I think people are interested in him.
Kind of like Howard Stern on the microphone a little bit.
He's gonna take my spot. I don't appreciate that.
Wait, who did you just say?
Howard Stern.
Say it one more time.
Like Howard.
Jerarms, any last words?
No, it was great being here.
Is it something you'd be interested in doing again sometime?
Yes, sir.
Imagine getting Jerome and Jason Fife on the same episode. I would just leave. We wouldn't even need to be in here. Just let him talk.
Does Jason Fife actually talk though when you do these?
Not really.
Okay.
He doesn't
So
need
it must
to.
be Jerome.
He doesn't need to. He just says a couple things, but it's enough. You know? But all right, that's it. Jiu-Jidiots. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Today is Sunday, May 19th, so we'll be back sometime in early June. We don't know who we'll have, but we sure do hope it's Jason Fife. Jiu-Jidiots out.